Hi, how's it going? It's Charles Botenston, and we are doing another book review. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite books that I've read ever. And it's actually by my favorite author, Shad Helmstetter, Dr. Shad Helmstetter. And you may know him as someone that I've already reviewed his book, What You Say When You Talk to What You Say When You Talk to Yourself. This book is absolutely amazing. It was not only life-changing that we can actually control what we say to ourselves, but it opened my eyes in how other people talk to themselves when I'm in conversation with them. So in other words, say I'm talking to someone and I talk about, because I'm going to be running the New York City Marathon, someone will say, oh, I can't do that. Well, they can, likely, not many people can't, unless there's a physical ability. I just read a story of someone, I think they're 104 years old, they just ran their something marathon, like 20th marathon, 104 years old. And this is a healthy individual, there's nothing wrong with them, but they say they can't. So in the past, I would normally agree with them, be like, oh yeah, I can't, but that's really a limiting belief. I don't know why I'm stuttering right now, but it's really a limiting belief. So this was written, Dr. Helmstetter. Gosh, I'm just going to be completely butchering that throughout this. But this was originally written in 1982. Then he came out with what we're going to be reviewing today, which is The Power of Neuroplasticity. So neuroplasticity is essentially the ability, the ability, I just had some peanuts before this, but the ability for the brain to rewire itself. So in other words, Derek Jeter, he has wired into his swing, he can recognize in a split second whether he's going to swing or not. Michael Jordan, when he was playing, he had the ability to just move and he had a vision on the court. And neuroplasticity is essentially how you can rewire your brain to change your life. And this is new, brand new. This came out in 2011, I think, right around there. And 2013. And this is essentially an updated version of the book that I just showed you, What You Say When You Talk to Yourself. So highly recommend this. I cannot say enough. If he wrote another book tomorrow, I would, Dr. Shad, I would buy in a heartbeat. But I'll go over some of he breaks it down into 29 chapters. And each chapter is it just shows there is a science behind it. So when he wrote this was 1981, so he probably wrote it, and science was really not up to his philosophy and his studies, and now they have brain waves and brain scans that people can actually change their brain waves based on their personality. People that have multiple personalities, their brains actually change to a different person. It's crazy what they're now talking about. But I'll go over some of the chapters. Setting a goal, pretty straightforward. The power of detail, this is really used for people that say, I can't stop smoking, I can't lose weight. That's why diets don't work. Because, I forgot who brought it up, but it's like you have a temperature gauge. You lose the weight, but your mind is still the same. So your mind says, oh, I lost the weight, I can have a chocolate pie, or I can take a week off of going to the gym. And it's like someone that goes to the gym once every 5 days, once a week. What is that going to do? That's like reading once a week or making money once a week. It's just not going to do anything. You have to continuously, it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle of improvement, but it's a lifestyle that whatever you want to change, you want to become wealthier, you want to become more fit, you want to become smarter or better or take something up. And that's one of the chapters that he actually brings up is neuroplasticity. And actually the next book that I'm going to be reviewing, which I recommend watching this review as well, which is called The Talent Code, and it talks about myelin, which is it's in your brain, and it has to do with neuroplasticity as well. So neuroplasticity can change anything. It's the ability to change and rewire it to what you want. So if you want to become wealthier, like myself, I'm rewiring my brain saying I am wealthy and financially independent. I have multiple passive, I have multiple passive income streams. You know, I'm rewiring my brain that I believe that. Excuse me, and I know that it's going to come because before I had a limiting belief, or not even a limiting belief, but I had a belief that a certain amount of money was attainable, and to get here, it would have taken astronomical amounts of work that I just didn't have time for. That was my belief. But the thing is, as what I just said, the power of detail in that chapter, it's not how hard you work, it's how smart you work. You can work so hard on this problem, but you're working the wrong way. If you work smart, you will make more money. If you manage your time better, you will make more money. But I've convinced myself that I'm wealthy, I'm a billionaire, I have all this money. So I'll go into a couple other chapters, but it really just, it blows my mind how, number one, it's not taught in schools, and number two is that nobody cares about this. Because we all walk around, it's a little voice in the back of your head that all day just continuously goes and goes and goes and goes. And it has, and as what they say in the book is that it doesn't know positive and negative. It just imprints it. And usually it's from 0 to 6 years old, you're imprinted these beliefs, whether it's about money, whether it's about happiness or having fun or positivity or abundance or whatever. You could be walking around thinking that there's just a limited amount of whatever, a limited amount of love, a limited amount of relationships or that you can have. Meanwhile, there's people that have 10 to 12 very close relationships, and someone else will have a limiting belief and say, I can only have 2. It's really in your brain. So whatever you want to change, you need to read this book, first of all. And number 2 is, essentially, this is what you do. You wake up, and I do this every single morning and every single night. I have something that I listen to. It's about things that I want to change in my life or areas that I, like fear of rejection. So I had a fear of rejection. So right there, I changed. I would normally say, I have a fear of rejection. Now I'm catching myself and I'm saying I had a fear of rejection. So that's another thing, or one way you'll catch yourself. I'm not good enough. I'm not entitled. I don't deserve it. I'm not smart enough. I don't know enough. I don't know enough people. I can't afford it. You know, these are all things that you say throughout the day. I'm too tired to go to the gym. It's too early to go to the gym. It closes in a half an hour. You know, those are all things that if you catch yourself and you say, okay, thank you for recognizing the limiting belief, and you move it aside and you go and you take action anyway, or you go to the gym, or you eat a salad instead of something else. But number one, it's what you say when you talk to yourself. But this is about how to train yourself. So pick up both books. 100% are like 20 out of 5 stars. There's not enough stars to give it. But the biggest thing, noise. Chapter 16 is noise. The neuroscience of self-talk. Self-talk is just literally everything. And one of the chapters was absolutely amazing. I think it was supercharging the next 6 weeks, or one of them. Living aware. I think this is it. Living aware. So living aware essentially is saying that you need to take things on that challenge yourself and that are different. Write with your opposite hand. Throw with your opposite hand. Take up a language. Start a nonprofit, but do something that completely challenges your brain. And the reason being is that up until age 30, and I'll be talking about it in the talent code, which I'm going to be reviewing next, so go and watch that as well. But there's up until about age 30, you've really imprinted some hardcore self-beliefs and self-talk. And to change that, your brain really has to just go like this and then come back together. It really has to just say what needs to change. So number one is when you're talking to yourself, or not when you're talking, well, you are talking to yourself all day, but when you do a self-talk exercise, so instead of saying, I'm not fat, or I'm debt-free, your brain is gonna focus on the debt and the fat. So you say, I'm financially free, or I'm financially independent, or I am a multimillionaire, or I have multiple streams of income. If you want it for losing weight, you don't say, I'm not fat, or I am not obese, or whatever you say, I am in shape, I am fit and healthy. I go to the gym, this is what I say, I go to the gym by 6 a.m. every single morning, and that's what I say, and that's what I do, because I believed myself. So until you believe yourself, your diets are not going to work. Quick fixes are not going to work. Anyway, I know this is longer than normal. I'm Charles Botenston, and I'm here in my New York City apartment. Subscribe to the YouTube videos. Go to iCharles.com and follow me on Instagram. That's my favorite 3 things that I could plug. But anyway, the next one is the Talent Code. I highly recommend watching that. Anyway, pick up The Power of Neuroplasticity, and I did another review on what you say when you talk to yourself. This is required reading for all of my employees at my company. So anyway, talk to you guys soon, and